On this week's episode of Bungalower on the Bus, we talk about a new brewery in downtown Orlando.
There's a TSA hullabaloo at the airport.
And we're playing Bingo!
Bingo! Bingo!
Welcome to Bungalower and the Bus. I am the Bus, John Busdecker.
And I'm the spilt beer dripping on your microphone, Brendan O'Connor.
That's what happens when you come to Wally's and you start waving your arms like a scarecrow in the wind.
I am a spilly drinker, John.
And you knock over some beer on some microphones.
Here on Bungalower and the Bus, we talk about all the top headlines in Orlando's downtown bungalow neighborhoods, including Mills 50, which is where we are today.
We are at Wally's tonight.
Wally's, Mills Avenue Liquors.
And we are at Wally's for a specific reason, not because we want strong drinks and cheap PBRs.
Because I'll tell you, after last week, I could use a break.
If you listened to last week's episode, which I hope you did, we had a good time. We had a lot of fun.
I did not realize how hard that sake was going to hit until I was listening to the episode and sending it to the radio station.
Don't you think the shots of whiskey and the beer before the sake had something to do with our fun last week?
There's something about Wally's.
It's like they just give it to you. Hey, we'll give you a beer, but why don't you have a shot too?
That's their new T-shirt. Wally's # we'll give it to you.
But yeah, we're here at Wally's tonight because on Monday, if you're not busy, come hang out because we're doing our first ever Bungalower Bingo.
Bungalower Bingo!
So we're going to be here from starting at 7 o'clock. We're going to be doing some bingo, having some drink specials, giving away some booze, giving away some prizes. We're going to have a fun time. It is all free.
All free.
Come and hang out.
John's going to be spinning tunes.
I am.
Because everybody loves when John's slamming down some of his vinyl.
I pretty much need to get hired as a DJ by a wedding.
Didn't someone try to hire you to
do
an event last time?
They did.
I love it, John. I love it. It's going to be fun. We're giving away booze, giving away drinks, and giving away parts of our soul.
So Monday night, 7 o'clock here at Wally's on Mills. Come hang out. Come play some bingo. Come have fun.
And I'll be talking about behind-the-scenes stuff about all the headlines and things that we talk about.
You're going to do other things than we do on our show?
Yeah. We'll tell secrets.
Really?
Things
that you can't air on the radio.
Like opinions.
And swear words.
Cusses. We'll probably try not to cuss.
I don't like to swear.
It's not true. Not true. It depends how much sake you've had.
It's true.
That was. We should have done an after episode last week.
We did. You shot video of us over at Taco Cheetah.
I did. Hey, special thank you to Pepe's Cantina in Winter Park for laying down some food for us.
I don't know what they did to you, but I got food.
What did you get? You got tacos?
I got tacos. I got, I think, a shrimp taco, maybe a fish taco.
Like fajita stuff?
I think I ate it so fast. I was so hungry. It was so good. I just inhaled it.
Delicious. I'm bringing home some queso.
Can you really bring home queso? I feel like after a while, queso turns to just cheese.
I'll still eat it.
All right.
And I'm a little lactose intolerant, which is why I'm going to eat it at home where no one can hear me.
But yeah, thank you, Pepe's Cantina, filling us up before we do our show.
Delicious.
We appreciate it. So go check it out. They also have a location in downtown on Church Street,
which I also love. And there's another one like I Drive.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that. All right.
Blowing up.
Yeah, we don't get over there. Our cars don't go over that way.
No. That's
they
a bubble.
break down as soon as you hit Kirkman.
Yeah. Isn't there that's like a Stephen King novel?
That's true.
If you get
I do like Nile, Ethiopian, though. If you get over that way, go there, too. It's good.
I like that, too, with your
it's
fingers.
Good. It's a good spot.
John.
Brendan.
Headlines, top of which is we survived Hurricane Dorian.
I did.
Yeah, I did, too.
Oh, I thought you were a ghost.
Unless we're all ghosts. I don't know what was up. Is that what happened? Am I a ghost?
Maybe.
Oh, my gosh.
So yeah, I think most of us survived Hurricane Dorian. There were a few fatalities, actually, in Central Florida.
In Central Florida?
Yeah. There was.
Tell me about it, Sheriff's Department.
I do work at the Sheriff's Department. I think there was either 3 or 4. They're actually really sad stories. I only know one off the top of my head. A gentleman died because he was trimming trees to get ready for Dorian.
I did see that.
This was out in Ocoee. Oh, what a way to go.
An older man, too.
I think so,
Yeah.
There were some other ones, too. I don't remember all the other ones, but terrible. But
tough, man.
Most of Central Florida went unscathed. If you're not paying attention, the hurricane missed us and kind of went out to the ocean, and it's heading up the coast right now.
I really didn't think it was going to turn, John.
I was ready. I was ready for a big hurricane.
Thank you to everyone who followed us along on the journey on social. We shared a lot of lists. Like, people were helping us. Like, here's a restaurant that's still open. If someone needs to go get a taco, here's something that's closed locally that you can't go to. So we had a lot of people interacting.
All I did
with
was
us.
watch a movie and go to bed.
Is that what
night.
you did?
Yeah.
At the department or at home?
Oh, I didn't stay overnight. I was going to stay over the night at the sheriff's office, but it wasn't really bad, so I just went home that night and watched a movie.
Well, there's more coming, so we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
I know. We still got till November, so don't throw away those hurricane supplies yet. Keep your water. Don't throw it out. It's still good.
And who's buying water? Just fill up your bottles.
I bought some water.
Did you buy water?
I did. I bought some gallons of it.
You didn't want to like put it in like your own jars?
I do both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get the gallons just in case. They're only 85 cents.
I have to admit I was too lazy to fill up my bathtub.
I don't have a bathtub.
Like I know I'm supposed to. Oh, okay.
I only have a shower.
I did one thing that this is awful to say, John, which is why I'm going to say it, because it never
sacrificed a goat and you helped keep the storm over to the ocean.
I painted it over the front door,
and I drank its
so
blood,
the storm would pass over me. We bought sod and put it in our guest room bathroom for the dog, if he like to trick him into thinking he's outside so he could go pee. But he never had to use it. So
you peed on the side. You tested it out.
I have to do it just
I got to see if the pee soaks up.
I got to see what happens here. I'm a little mad I didn't get to use it because I was like, oh, we're geniuses.
So what did you do with the side?
It's still there. I haven't taken it out of the house yet.
Where's it at? In your shower?
In the guest bathroom shower.
Just leave it in there.
Just in there.
Just leave it in the shower.
And shower on it?
Why not?
That'd be kind of fun.
Like a little carpet in there.
An outdoor shower.
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid we'll get like roaches or something under it.
Why would you get roaches there?
Because they like live in stuff. I don't know. Or worms.
That's all the leftover food you leave out in your kitchen that you get roaches.
And all my cardboard boxes.
No, I think you'll be all right. Make it a carpet in your shower.
All right. You know what? If Scotty asks me why that sod's still there, I'm going to say John told me I could live with it. We had a big story break. Not we, but it was Scott Maxwell shared it the other day. And I've kind of been sitting on a story from WMFE. They did something called TSA in Turmoil. It was this in-depth look.
It was good. I heard
project.
One of the episodes, I think.
It was so it's like a whole series they did on the environment of bullying.
Yeah, so there was a TSA agent 3 months ago.
February, yeah.
Yeah, 6 months ago. He jumped off the top of the kind of where the elevators are. If you're familiar with MCO or the airport,
he jumped from a balcony.
There's a hotel there
at the Regency.
Yes,
and in the airport.
Yeah, and so he killed himself.
Yeah,
and if I remember right, I heard part of the story on WMFE. I think he was from Baltimore area or Washington, D.C.
And then had moved here?
Yeah, he got a transfer here because he wanted to live in Central Florida. I think he wanted to be by Disney.
Yeah.
And so he got a transfer here, and when he got here, he just got picked on a lot. But some of his bosses really, really liked him, but some of his coworkers didn't really like him.
He was a big dude, and apparently... And this is in the episodes that they captured. They called him Lurch, behind his back, but he knew it was happening, and they were just harsher to him in the management. And so in his suicide note, it said, "See you in hell" to his managers.
It was a sad story, and I was really surprised. It was a good story that WMFE did because. They got a lot of people to talk that I didn't think would talk. Like, it's hard to get people to talk sometimes.
Spectrum News did the first story in April where it came out that, hey, bullying here is an issue and reactionary management behavior. And like they have this thing called the Green Mile, like where they would march employees where everybody could see them on the way to the manager's office if they were in trouble. And everybody called it the Green Mile. And it was part of this system of oppression. You know, even before you even get into the meeting, you know you're in trouble, like you're going to the principal's office.
Yes.
So no good. Clear. Something needs to happen. I don't know what's going to happen there. Hopefully some sort of review process and it gets fixed. I don't know what that looks like. But, so I've been sitting on that story because I wasn't sure if it was something we'd ever share. And then Scott Maxwell just shared this thing about a potential coup that happened.
So we should go back. Before you mention Maxwell, okay. Beth Kassab, she wrote the first
which
story.
I did not see the story.
Yeah, so she wrote the first story. This is all about so they have an executive board at the airport.
Is it Kassab or Kassab?
I think it's Kassab.
Okay.
Beth Kassab.
Sorry.
It could be either. I worked with her. I don't even know off the top of my head. Yes. Anyway, so they have a board there. If you're not familiar, these big organizations have boards. The expressway has a board, Central Florida Expressway. So does the airport. And it's made up of some elected officials, Mayor Demings, Mayor Dyer, and then there's some appointed people too, I believe, from that the governors appoint. And I don't know some of those people because they're appointees. And so this coup, and maybe you can explain this, Brendan, this coup has to do with lawyers and who they want, and it's a little confusing.
It is. So let me break it down. Actually, there was another instance where, I want to say a couple months ago, one of these appointees, Ron DeSantis appointees, was just trying to get the mayors, both Demings and Dyer, off of the board. And so he introduced into legislation, because this is legislatively, like, you have, since it's they have to have a representative from the county and the city on the board.
Yes.
Since it's a city-owned entity.
It is a city-owned entity. That's funny you say that because, as I said, I work at the sheriff's office, but that's a city thing.
Yes.
Like when things happen at the airport, Orlando PD is the one that handles it. But go ahead.
And no, it's important to note.
Yeah.
So they... What was I trying to say?
With the board, the coup.
The coup. Well, but before the coup. So this guy introduced the legislation to get them taken off of the board. Then he pulled it the same day. Scott Maxwell says just because it was so poorly put together and embarrassing, but not before it like raised a lot of eyebrows. Like, why would you try to get the mayor kicked off of his own entity? It doesn't make any sense. Followed by just recently, there's a lawyer that they have on retainer for the board. Does all the work for them. The end of their contract is coming up, and so when that happens, you have to open up to public bid, right?
Which is the normal process for city and county issues, or even public issues. Normally, you open it up for bid, like you said.
Yeah. So, but rather than opening it up to public bid, these appointees instead took it upon themselves to appoint somebody else that they all knew. And in order for that to happen, John, they had to meet outside of board time.
Is that what they say they did, or they think they might have?
It's what you had to do, because they know every time that there's a board meeting there for the airport, it's televised. Like, there's cameras there.
Yeah.
And so these guys just came in, unbeknownst to the mayors, and were like, hey, this is happening. We want to hire this other person who has no background in airport law, aviation law, and is in fact a lobbyist for medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Also, who does great things locally, apparently.
And that was, I mean, if you read Maxwell's column, he kind of said like she's. It's not like she's a bad lawyer.
No,
it's just that maybe she doesn't have the expertise in this particular thing.
And if it's a city appoint, like, this isn't an appointed position, it has to go through a bid process. It has to. And so it's just really interesting to see that level of disregard for sun state laws happening to compound everything else that's happening there at the airport.
And I think it's stories like this that really do show the importance of newspapers, because like it's not really a sexy topic, and it's a hard one to cover with television because there's not a lot of action.
No,
I mean, you got to go to a board meeting, you gotta shoot video.
It's
just not fun to watch, and so like these are the types of things that I think newspapers, in particular, can do very, very well because they have the patience and the room to write about it. And so I think those are the times when it's important to have a good newspaper in your community.
Yes, and kudos also to WMFE
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, they did a fantastic
yeah.
job, too.
Both of them, thumbs up, love all the work they did.
Yeah.
And this is something I just talked about on the Colbert Show. John, I wasn't going to talk about it just because on paper it could be really boring. But the Parks Department for the city of Orlando has put out a survey asking what residents want their parks to look like.
I
in
got
the future.
this survey.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't even live in the city, but I guess I'm close enough that where they
Are you
send
gonna
it to
fill it
me.
out?
I will. I just haven't yet.
So I was like sitting on it because I was like, this is boring. Who cares? And then I was like, you know what? I care because our parks are kind of boring.
So I agree with that to some regard.
Some of them.
Some of them are. I think
there is room for improvement.
I think there should just be more parks.
Which is what they're trying to do. The city's trying to do within every 5 minutes, 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk.
And I don't think every park needs to be this giant, huge park that is massive. Like even just like a neighborhood park can be a good thing in your neighborhood, but I don't know if they build them in or
it could be more than just like a mowed lawn and a couple trees. You know,
True.
We need more. We need more from that and from our parks. And so it's just a really interesting. I made a whole list of pictures of really cool park spaces and amenities from around the world that we could easily do here. We work and live next to all these people next to the amusement parks that design world-class amenities all the time. Why don't we bring them in to help redesign our public spaces?
I agree. It's a money thing.
If you want to fill out that questionnaire, just go ahead over to bungalower.com and do it.
Do it.
We need it ASAP. New plans were released for the second Church Street Tower done by Lincoln Properties.
So the first one's not even open yet, right?
Not even open yet. That's where SunTrust is moving over to. It's the one that also has the built-in Sunrail station on the bottom floor.
Have they talked what's going to move into the SunTrust building?
Yeah. There's a co-working space. There's some sort of...
it's a big building. They need more than just one co-working space.
No. I think it's pretty much... 60-70% occupied, I think.
Really?
I don't know. I can't remember.
What do you call that? It's not going to be called the SunTrust building anymore, right?
I think it's going to be called SunTrust Plaza on Church Street or something.
No, I'm saying the old one.
The old one's going to have to, it'll change its naming rights with whoever leaves.
Really?
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Do you think, we've talked about this before, and maybe this goes off on a tangent, downtown Orlando, how many national companies are based in downtown Orlando?
Not enough.
That are non-banks.
Yeah. Red Lobster.
Okay. Which needs a bigger sign.
Just tiny little
just a
lobster.
little crustacean
like
up there.
Crayfish.
Yeah, exactly. But how do you lure those type of brands and companies that are nationally known to downtown Orlando?
And that's the job of the Orlando Economic Partnership, Downtown Orlando Partnership.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they're not there. I just don't know of them.
They have to make it look sexy, sexy enough money-wise, but then also living-wise. Is it cool enough to make you want to move here versus Austin?
Yeah.
Or San Francisco? What is the difference?
That'll be an interesting day to me when we land a big company that says, you know what, we're from Connecticut, we're from New York, we're moving to Orlando, Florida. And I'll give a little context here. When I lived in Alabama, there was a huge deal to get the Volkswagen factory to move to Huntsville, and so they had a big campaign, and it was a $5 billion project or something like that. It ended up moving to Chattanooga, which isn't too far from Huntsville, but it was a big push that we wanted to get them to our town. I haven't ever really seen that in Orlando. And maybe I've missed it, but has there ever been this
here. You don't see it, constantly, but just not you don't see it local.
I don't see big companies. There might be a lot of small companies.
No, the push to get them to come
here
is happening all the time.
I know the Amazon was kind of a thing, but that was that wasn't a reality.
I've been really trying to push them to do to underwrite content like ours, obviously.
Yes.
But and then push it though to audiences in other cities where those people work and live.
Yeah.
Just start proving to them that Orlando's a cool place to live, but through boosting other people's content. And then it's not overt messaging from the partnership, but or from City of Orlando, hey, we're cool, but it's just organic, really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's one prong of it. I mean, a lot of it is going to be with tax incentives and sort of government help with it. But that's another thing. I mean, quality of life is an important thing for your employees. I mean, you can have all the tax incentives you want, but if your employees don't want to move here and you can't get real talent to move here, it's hard.
And I think that's the biggest part, because we're battling Florida man imagery, right? Like,
true.
You are talking to cool, hip, young entrepreneurs that are, if they have to choose where to have their young families grow up, if you have to choose between Florida man imagery versus Seattle, that's a tough battle to fight.
I agree.
And that's the battle that they should be fighting. When you're talking about Visit Florida and Visit Orlando, big budgets, maybe not forever, but big budgets now. Like, what if we're using that money to not only just market, but then also kind of like improve what's happening here?
No, I agree. I agree on that. And part of it is, you're right, it's imagery. I mean, everybody probably has this image of Florida, and don't get me wrong, I mean, those crazy things happen here. I would argue, though, but there's crazy people that live in Texas, too. And
there are, but the issue is you don't see that trending on Twitter, right?
You don't.
Anyway, come back. We have to go to break. Come back after the break, and we're going to tell you all about the new brewery that's moving into the Orange County Brewer Space downtown.
I'm excited.
Orange County Library System wants to make sure you know about these 3 things. September is National Library Card Sign-Up Month. We're challenging all of you library fans to bring a friend in to get their library card. You'll even have a chance to win a prize pack. Details are on our website. Typing is an underrated skill that can save you precious time, and it's never too late to learn it. Learn How to Type is at our Alafaya branch on September 12th. Have engaging conversations about some of the greatest records ever pressed with our Album of the Month Club at Orlando Public Library. This month's album is the Beatles' Revolver. The club meets on September 12th. Ages 16 and up are welcome. Learn about these 3 things and much more at ocls.info or call 407-835-7323. That's ocls.info or 407-835-7323. Orange County Library System is your place to learn, grow, connect.
Welcome back to Bungalower and the Bus. I am the Bus, John Busdecker.
And this is Brendan O'Connor from Bungalower.com, your source for hyperlocal news.
And we are hanging out at Wally's on Mills Avenue, having some drinks tonight.
Some drinks.
Less drinks than last week.
Oh, my gosh. I kind of want to apologize to everybody that then, like, the other part of my brain is like, deal with it. That's real life.
We had a good time last week, I think.
I think everybody knows we had a great time last week.
Yeah. We started at Wally's. Did we even mention that?
I don't even know.
We were at Tori last week. If you missed our episode, go to Apple Podcast and Google Play. You can re-listen to it. And we were at Tori, and we had a few drinks last week.
So much fun. We came to Wally's first. They got us primed. We came here to do research for our bingo night that we're going to be hosting next week here at Wally's.
Monday.
7 o'clock, Monday, September 9th.
Come hang out. Play some bingo, win some prizes.
So much fun. You don't have to get as plastered as we were before, but it's hard not to do.
Come learn about Orlando, and we'll be talking Bungalower, and just come hang out.
See the new renovations that they've put in this place?
Yeah, it's a perfect chance. If you haven't been to Wally's in a long time, come check it out, and it's totally different than it used to be.
So, John, before the break, we were talking about some rumbles in the airport jungles.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about a new 17-story... 28-story, 32 stories.
You're just adding floors.
Keeps getting bigger. 32-story tower with a new hotel unit going to Church Street, taking over that Church Street ballroom property. And now, just like I promised before the break, Motorworks Brewing, straight out of Bradenton, is going to be moving into the just recently vacated Orange County Brewer Space.
That's great. I mean, I'm glad it didn't take long to find another bar/brewery to move in there. I assume is all the stuff still there?
Yes.
Really?
All of it. All that equipment. The guy that owns the building is like a part investor, I think. So
okay.
I'm sure there's some sort of...
That's great. that makes it a lot easier. Then you probably don't need a lot of time to start brewing beer and getting open.
They need a really good anchor tenant in that part of town to get people to move a couple blocks over.
I agree. I mean, because you're right. There's sort of a mass of people that hang out at Central and Orange and Washington. Yeah. But once you start getting past there, there's not too many spaces left to go hang out.
There's more parking over there, too.
At some point, that will start creeping towards the courthouse and farther down.
Well, we have 3 big apartment complex projects that are going to be happening on that stretch too, between the courthouse and that church, right?
Yeah,
Crafton
you just
Common.
need more people. The more people, you're going to get more businesses and more places to hang out and check out. You just got to fill them in.
And if you've already got established spots that people are already going to before those places open, you're golden.
So when's this place supposed to open?
Motorworks Brewing. They're saying there's not much they need to do, just some aesthetic changes inside. Possibly by the end of the month, John.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're out of Bradenton, and everyone that I've talked to about this already knows who they are, so apparently it's like a good, reputed brewery.
Will the Recess Pizza still be there or not?
I asked them that, and they said they don't know. They do want pizza in there. The equipment's already there. They don't know the Recess Pizza guys. It's Orlando Meats. So they hadn't even talked to them by the time that I was on the phone call. That might have changed because I wrote about this about a week ago.
All right.
Yeah, so let's see how that goes. They are going to be bringing a coffee roaster. So they'll be doing coffee roasting on site.
Great.
Yeah. I don't want. I'll bring it up. We did write about a pop-up dance party thing that's coming to town.
I didn't even read this. What is it?
It's my fault because I didn't share it to Facebook. Dance Club 921. So it's a new series of pop-up parties. You can pay for a membership for $99. It's like a year membership that gets you access to 6 parties, or you can just pay $20 a party and that gets you in. Beverages are extra. If you are a member, you can curate the playlist and get in early. Apparently, the 2 people behind this were just like disillusioned with the club scene in Orlando. They didn't like that, bumping uglies kind of scene.
I feel like I'm too old for this.
I feel like this is for old people.
Oh, really?
To be honest, I actually think it's like 80s, 90s.
So where would the parties be?
Anywhere. This first one's going to be at East End Market. I want to say like next week. I didn't write it down.
Okay. I hope they do well.
I need to.
No, I hope they do.
The idea of it. I've wanted to do pop-up parties forever. I want to do a pop-up gay bar.
What's the difference between a party and a pop-up party?
Nothing really. Okay. The pop-up is that it says that it's making you think that there's a series, I would think, right? That's just me. There's a new photo event space opening.
So many of these.
In Parramore.
Wow.
Just up the street at 1032 West Robinson Street. Except they want parties like christenings and wedding showers.
So it's like a photo studio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
/
Somebody's
event space.
Opening their studio there.
It's interesting. First of all, come on, guys. It's so close to the other photo event space. Like, give them a little room. I'm sure you're very nice. I'm sure you're working very hard. But, like, to another district.
Maybe there's like a critical mass of
you
people.
Can hop.
Yeah.
That's very nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I also it's interesting to see some of these older warehouses getting some love, especially close to OBT, that aren't going to be industrial
There's a lot
uses.
over there. And they're not all vacant. I mean, sometimes they're just not like sexy businesses. They're like
some beautiful
welding
buildings.
shops and roofing stores. I mean, they're all viable businesses that probably employ a lot of people.
They're making more money than I am.
Yeah, they're just not fun places.
No. We'll see what happens here. It's called the Chateau, YNS Chateau.
Really?
I don't know what
very
YNS
French.
means. Chateau.
How about the venue? Can we talk about the venue?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Closing up shop.
No.
Finally closing. They're moving out because the yard, which hasn't opened yet, is expanding onto that property. So they're going to knock down the venue, which is on Virginia and Ivanhoe Village.
That'll be the second phase of the yard at Ivanhoe Village.
Yes.
And
this is owned and operated by Blue Star.
Love
she opened
her.
it, 7 years ago, 6 years ago?
She's doing a 12 days like apocalyptic rehash.
Yeah,
of
you only
all
got a
of
few
their-
more days left because I think September 12th was the last day, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you got a few days.
We have a few to catch some really cool events. There's a couple happening this weekend. Every night it's a different best of the venue performance.
Done a lot of burlesque there, a lot of different theater, I'd say, is a good way to explain it.
We just saw the kickoff to this 12-day fest. It's like a mini Fringe. We went to it, and it was just really powerful and just interesting use of space, and it was packed.
It's probably, I mean, it's one of the few venues in Central Florida, Orlando specific, that kind of goes to that like alternative theater and gives a space for maybe somebody local who wants to put on a show.
You
and
name a small theater that's doing productions like them locally.
there's just
Who's
nobody.
doing it?
Yeah.
Who's doing
I mean, she sort of gave people that space over there. And I think there was a story in the Orlando Sentinel that Matt Palm wrote that was a very great tribute. And Scotty Campbell was quoted.
Scotty Campbell actually was the reason they moved in there.
Yeah, and so I just think it was a great space for that type of theater, and it's just not something you see everywhere. So I hope it doesn't go away. I know it will in that space.
They're looking for a new home. It's just been harder than they thought.
I can
keep
imagine
lining up cool spots for them.
I told them to move over in my neighborhood, Packing District.
There's a great spot downtown, but they just don't. Downtown's hard for some people.
Yes.
She's really hoping for one of the hoods.
Come over to Packing District.
Packing it.
Go right next to the Standard Motorcycle people. They'd probably love you over there.
They'd probably give them a little spot.
I think that would be
over
a good space for a place like that because it's out of the way. You could probably do some stuff that you might not be able to get away with in a neighborhood where there's like people that live there. But I think when you get in those like quote unquote warehouse districts, you can party till late and nobody cares.
Canal
there's no
Contemporary
residents.
Art Center in North Edgewater.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
They do whatever they want.
Yeah, they
man.
do. Yeah,
4 in the morning. No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Don't send anybody out there.
but no, I just think there's some value in that to take those type of venues out to spaces you might not expect to go. Because I also think it gets people. It gets people to explore parts of the city that they might not normally go to.
I consistently when I when I drive out to those places, I'm like, what is this? Didn't even know what this was.
Yeah.
Love it. That space, the new building they're knocking down the venue, and then they're going to be building a 16,000 plus square foot development with ground floor restaurant and retail, and then 24 apartments on the second and third floors.
Wow.
Looking directly out at the Hideaway.
When's all that going to open?
Oh, who knows?
Like the yard?
I'd
they're getting there.
Yeah, just sludging along, man. That's
big.
It is big. It's a lot of moving pieces. They just started working on the courtyard properties. So like something that's going to be like a shipping container coffee shop thing right out front. A giant food hall space, 2 floors. So it's a lot happening.
Great.
It is great. It's just so big.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at cities like Miami, I mean, they're much more compact and dense than we are when it comes to living density.
Right.
And I don't know, is that the next evolution of Orlando where people start looking at these infill spaces and say, look, we've sort of grown out, now we need to grow up.
Well, I think that's why you're seeing a lot of development headed over to Parramore area.
I agree.
Actually, we didn't talk about this. There's a 17-story mixed-use development taking over that corner where Hittin' Skins and Hopper Bike Share are.
Yes. Kind of by the federal courthouse. I don't know which street that is up top. Is it Livingston or Amelia?
No.
It's one of them, right?
Central?
Central, sure.
Division and Central. That's huge. The fact that you're going to have, and it's expensive looking. It's something that would look like Thornton Park.
Oh, it's a nice building.
And they recognize the trend of where that downtown neighborhood is going. Nobody's been looking at those properties, but if you're running out of lots, man, and
especially
the west side of I-4.
You're right. I said this when I moved here. Like, if I had money, I would have bought property over there because you can only go so far west and still be, east, I'm sorry,
right,
and still be considered quote unquote downtown. And I think that they've hit that point where, all right, we've built over to Thornton Park. I mean, you start going farther east of Thornton Park, you're kind of out of downtown. And so now you got to say, all right, well, like if we want to live downtown and build stuff downtown, we got to go west. And then you look at Parramore and Colonial, and you're like, all
College
right,
Park, it's bordered by
pretty
$1
flat
million
right
properties.
there.
Yeah.
It's pretty flat. We
Uh-huh.
can build up over there. And that's
Right
what they're
downtown.
starting to do.
There's already transit lines going out there to service it because of Creative Village.
And you're literally 5 blocks from City Hall. So, I mean, I think that's the next big thing that way. And it's not a big surprise. I'm not, I don't have a crystal ball here and I'm telling you the future. I mean, that's really probably what's going to happen.
I do, and it says, I don't know. It's gonna. What do the black balls say when you turn them over?
No.
Probable.
Yeah.
It's probable. Fayez Kara just released a post about Great Harvest Bread Co. moving into City Tower. Good job, Fayez.
The bread company.
Super jealous.
Are they just making bread or is it sandwiches?
Sandwiches and salads and stuff, but like apparently it's like a better panera
I could go for that.
from the Northeast or something.
I've
right?
never heard of it, but
So-
I'll go.
I
I like
a
sandwiches.
coffee shop.
I love sandwiches.
It's a big space. City Tower, this is the same space that has Greenery Creamery, but it's like the corner edge.
Oh, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was where the University Club is.
No, that's
All right.
Modera.
All right. This is the other one.
See, they're coming so fast. It's hard
They
to keep
are.
up.
They are.
And Sunrail's back after Dorian. Sunrail closed during Dorian,
Did
but
you
it's
miss it,
back
Brendan?
in action.
You missed it.
No,
you were
I
like, you're like, oh my God, I want to ride
I
Sunrail.
can't wait to ride Sunrail, but I can't because it's the weekend.
How's it doing, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know, John.
We're going to get to the point where we got to start paying for
$20,000
it.
a month to sell tickets.
Pretty soon, the cities are going to have to start paying for
City's
it.
taking over.
In
City's
like
taking it
a
back
year
from
or
Liftoff.
two.
Yeah. Right?
It's going to be interesting when that
And then-
happens.
And state legislature just turned down a big funding mechanism that was on the table that would have made it easier for the city. Man, and if every city along the corridor is expected to pay for their portion,
Yeah.
like DeLand is going to pay for something, right? Like
We'll see.
Sanford's going to pay for their.
I mean, you see cars there. Don't get me wrong, but part of it's not fair because it's not really it's not for me. I live a mile from where I work, so it's not for me. It's for people that live far out and want to come here. So I just don't know what it's like in the morning on there, but I just don't know a lot of people that ride it.
I know a few. I've used it a couple times. If I really didn't want to bike or anything,
Yeah.
Adding 10-minute bike ride. Well, one day I think I was just so hungover. I was like, I just can't do this. So I biked to the hospital, took my bike on the train, and went down to Church Street. And, it would have taken me 15 minutes just to ride.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't physically move.
I will. I mean, I know the criticism is, it should run at nights and weekends, but I mean, a weekend would be nice every now and then. Not even Sunday. Maybe just,
$20,000 is what it costs to charge it for one day.
Really?
Yeah, to run it for one day.
Doesn't seem like a ton of money. I mean, it's a lot to you and I, but for a city,
It's a lot. It's a lot of money.
I mean, what do you think it costs New York City subway to run
I
one
don't know.
day?
And I wonder if it has something to do with the people the conductors. It's different because they're like contract or something. So you have to, because they're not normally scheduled for weekends. If there's a special event, there's like a contractor fee that they have to pay
believe
to
that.
get them to come and run that special route.
But I might consider hopping on at the hospital downtown and taking it to DeLand on a weekend. But I'm not going to do that on a Tuesday.
I'd love to go to Sanford for a drunk tour. They have some great craft breweries there.
Sanford's tough because you're a little far from downtown. It's not a close stop.
But during
do
the
have
work
a bus.
day, they have a bus. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like DeLand, I don't even know where the DeLand station is now that I think about it. But if it was close to downtown,
I don't know, John. Let's talk about events.
All right, nobody cares about
What are we
Sunrail.
doing?
I
Nobody
guess.
cares. You already missed First Fridays at FAVO, Faith Arts Village. You
All
suck.
right. Why are you telling everybody? Are you shaming them?
I am. You might have a couple minutes left to catch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom at Lou Gardens.
Are you going to see the end of it?
If you want to volunteer, you can go join Keep Winter Park Beautiful at Lakes Bell and Wilderness. They're doing a cleanup, picking up litter around the lakes. Super fun. You get breakfast, snacks, T-shirts, and water provided, and all the equipment. Don't wear flip-flops, Karen.
Yeah.
Come on, lady.
Get bit by a snake. and an alligator.
Dumb. Put on some boots, girl.
Stepping on a hypodermic needle out there.
It's 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 1051 Lake Bell Drive. Any of these events that you want more information, just type the name into our search bar on Bungalower, and you'll find it. Did you follow this thing with the Prince of England?
No.
He's dancing ballet. Is in ballet class. Prince William's son.
Okay.
So he's dancing ballet, and everybody made fun of him.
Well, not everybody. The woman on the Today Show did.
Well, and other people jumped on the horse.
Jerks.
Horse cart. There is a free boys ballet class with Philip Broomhead. He's the former principal dancer of Royal Ballet in London. He's here in town on Saturday, and any skill levels, any age is welcome. 12:30 to 1:30 at the Orlando Ballet office. It's totally free.
Totally free.
I think that sounds awesome.
Go do it.
I might do it.
Go put on your dancing shoes and go do it.
I danced ballet when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, because I couldn't catch a football, and my grade 3 teacher told my parents ballet would help with my hand-eye coordination.
Did it?
Nope. Turned out I'm a homo. Don't pitch it, fix it. A repair workshop is taking place at the Winter Park Community Center.
I have a lawnmower that somebody pitched, and I picked it up.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
You can take it to the Winter Park Community Center 1 to 4 p.m. Any item you need to be fixed. Or if you have an expertise, you can go there and you can help people with their things. Totally free.
You and I should go pretend like we know how to fix things and be like, yeah, I can fix your alarm clock, and be like, I don't know how to do this one.
Let's pitch it.
Take it all apart. Well, I'll pitch it.
Here's a gift card. An Amazon gift card. Go
to
buy
Radio
something.
Shack and buy
$10.
Buy an alarm clock. Here's a Sears gift card.
And a clue. I have something that needs to get welded. I might take it there.
Yeah, I don't mess with welding.
No.
Or soldering.
I saw you weld. You did pretty good. I was impressed.
It's pretty rough.
All right. The Orlando City Soccer plays Los Angeles, 7:30 on Saturday. How are we doing on time?
We're good.
All right. Margarita Crawl taking place. It starts at Saddle Up on 2 p.m. on Saturday.
2 p.m.? My gosh.
Can you handle it?
No,
we can handle a late night crawl
No.
between 2 spots. This is 5 locations.
We had some drinks, though.
There's a lot of drinks.
That's true.
5 venues, discounted drinks at all venues.
Margaritas? How many margaritas could you really have?
Apparently a lot.
Yeah.
You'll get gut rot, though. It's a lot of
little sugary.
lime and sugar.
Yeah.
That's a hangover I couldn't handle.
Oh, no.
This is for young kids. You can go to Waitiki, Cantina, Sideshow, Poorhouse, The Office, and Dapper Duck. Emerald City Cabaret is hosting their Dungeons and Dragons burlesque show Saturday night.
I don't even know how all those go together. Dungeons and Dragons burlesque?
Yeah, it's like the nerd burlesque troupe here.
Do they dress up like nerds?
I get always a different thing. It could be like Marvel heroes. It could be Game of Thrones characters.
Okay.
But this is all Dungeons and Dragons inspired. So hold on to your D6 or D8 if you're me, and call it a day.
Is that a dice? Is that a nerd joke?
Okay,
all right.
This is one of the last.
Well, they got some Lord of the Rings burlesque. I might be there.
Neuraline Astaroth.
Yeah, a lot of elves.
All elves. No dwarves. I keep looking.
How much time do you want? Keep talking.
This is one of the last performances that's going to be hosted at the venue before they close on the 12th, so make sure you get in there quick. And that's at 9 p.m. Tickets are $20 for front row, splash zone for Dungeons and Dragons burlesque, or $18 general admission in the back. $2. You might as well just pay it.
Splurge for the front row seats.
Yeah, man. I want to see the wizard sleeves.
Yes. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. It sounded great. The Constant Reader Ball is taking place at Stardust Video.
Can we just turn into a nerd podcast?
If you like balls, but you really love reading, go to this Stephen King themed party.
Oh, that sounds good, actually. Never mind. Take it back.
Come dressed as any Stephen King character to this party. There's a costume contest and Stephen King trivia.
Ooh.
Starts 7:30 p.m. at Stardust Video and Coffee. That's at 1842 East Winter Park Road, and it's free.
Who would you dress as? I mean,
Who would you dress?
I mean, like, I think of his characters, and they're not really like fantasy characters. They're all regular people, aren't there? Most of them are.
No, like
Jack Torrance,
Dark
and-
Tower people.
All right,
one of the twins from
all right, but they're still dressed like normal people. It's not like
what's
they
the
have
hotel one with
The
Jack who
Shining.
breaks through the door. You could be Jack broken through a door. Do like
All
a
right.
cardboard door.
All right,
like,
that's not a
and
bad
your
idea.
Face is
All
all
right. That's a good idea.
That's
All
a
right.
good one. That's
yeah,
a good
I'll
one.
give you that one.
Or a topiary.
All right.
Oh man,
All right.
I'm really good at this.
All right.
I'd be a great topiary.
Maybe you should go.
I'll do a topiary, and then I'll have like my shoes will look like pots, little flower pots, right?
All right. I've read a few, so all right, maybe we go. We should probably wrap it up though.
Okay, the Pulp Music Festival is taking place at Will's, Grumpy's, and Uncle Lou's this Sunday, 1 p.m. to midnight, $25. 3 stages, live music, super fun. And then Ace Cafe is hosting their Yacht Rock Brunch Party, Sunday brunch offerings to the tunes of Sailor Jerry, playing Hall & Oates, Journey, Pablo Cruz, Kenny Loggins, Air Supply, blah, 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 blah.
All right. Well, come to Wally's on Monday because we're doing bingo.
Bingo!
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.